is gang? I'm back with another video, and in today's video I have another word for y'all. And today's word is, just because they do it, it doesn't mean that you have to do it as well. Just because they got that car that way, it doesn't mean you have to do it in that way. Just because they got that house that way, it doesn't mean you have to do it in that way. And I know that we grow being desperate and we just want things quick and things of that nature, but it's a reason why God is telling you to do it a certain way than you would see the average person do on a daily basis. The way that I got this word was basically walking my dog. So basically, I was just walking my dog, and I'm not even gonna lie, for a lot of months now, I've just been letting him do number 2, just like that, without picking it up and things of that nature, because I'm looking around and I see number 2s everywhere, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm seeing number 2s around everywhere on my block from dogs and things of that nature. And I'm just thinking like, okay, if they're doing it, then it's cool for me to do, because it's just so much around. I'm just like, man, whatever. But, just last week, some lady, Gunter, my dog, he was doing number 2 in front of her like area, I guess. I wouldn't say like her porch or none of that, because it was like on the street, like on the sidewalk, but like next to her house or whatever. So then she starts walking and she's like, like, how Africans be. She was like, like, don't let your dog do that. It's been so many times where dogs have done that and they don't pick up after their dogs. You have to pick up after your dog. And, she was just correcting me in that sense, in a tough love way. You get what I'm saying? She said that she finally caught a person who was doing that. So I'm not going to lie. I was kind of mad that she called me out for that. And, I took it to God, and then he just started to speak to me that, just because they do it, it doesn't mean you have to do it. And I was like, wow. So right now, a lot of us are in a season of isolation where we're not around a lot of people, so we don't have a lot of resources. We're just relying on God. And it makes us uncomfortable to not have that control. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was in my classes of lifespan, and she was talking about, would you ever go on one of those, where you go on the height and then you fall off by the rope? And I was just thinking, no, because you're giving all that rope the control of your life, because it's a height, like it's a very big height, and you fall down, and yes, the rope has a hold of you, but you don't have too much control over yourself or your body or what happens after that, because the rope is the one who is, having a say so unto, how it goes. So I was like thinking of that, and, God was just speaking through a lot of things, He was using a lot of like symbolism in that sense. I was like, wow, wow. So a lot of us are feeling like we want to take control. Like, yes, we trust God, but at the same time, it's like some of us feel like he's taking too long, or like we should have had whatever we're asking for, or things of that nature. And you're just trying to see a way to go about it so you could get that thing a bit quicker than God is allowing you to. You get what I'm saying? Because you probably have been getting rejected from jobs or places, from opportunities and things of that nature, and you just want to take control into what you're doing because you might need more money, or whatever the case might be in your case, right? But it's just God is saving you from a lot of things that you can't see from the behind scenes, and he's keeping you in his hand. He's holding you in his hand because of the fact that it's just so many things that go on that you wouldn't even recognize or know, and he's keeping you safe by not giving you that job, by not giving you that car, by not giving you that house. You get what I'm saying? So you should be appreciative of not having the things that you want right now. You get what I'm saying? Because if God wanted you to have it at this time, he would give it to you at this time. But it's a reason. Hear me, y'all. Hear me, my brothers and sisters in Christ. It's a reason why he's saying no. He keeps saying no to this. He keeps saying no to that. Because there's more things around us of the enemy than we could ever think of. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that says the enemy goes around walking like a prowling lion, seeking who he could devour. He has his minions over here, over there, over here, over there. So God is keeping you safe from what you can't see. You cannot see the spiritual aspect of things. You cannot see behind the scenes. You cannot see what God is seeing. This is why he is saying no. This is why he's saying don't do it like this, do it like that. Wait for this, wait for that. Wait for the right timing. Because he's keeping you safe. And when I say this, y'all, on the surface, it's like, okay, yeah, we've all heard God is keeping us safe. Yeah, God is protecting us. But when you really think about it, look at your life. Look at what God has protected you from. And even when you went on your own understanding, look at what God has protected you from. Let's just take it on this stance, right? You go, let's take a relationship for example. You see this guy, you meet this guy, and you think he's really cute. He comes up to you and he starts, talking to you and things of that nature. Y'all exchange numbers, but God probably already showed you who your husband is, or he's telling you to wait. But since you're desperate and things of that nature, you're gonna want to you're gonna want to pursue that relationship and things of that nature. God is telling you to wait because he has something better for you. But you consist of it, you persist on it. So now God is letting you rock with that because you really want it, right? So he's going to show you why. Well, he's not going to show you, but you're going to be seeing why he was telling you to wait, because that person might be a narcissist, because that person might be somebody who's going to drain you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You get what I'm saying? And it's always a reasoning why God says wait, why God says do this the way that he says to do it, or he says no. You get what I'm saying? Because it's something deeper that he can see. He could see beyond what we could see. He could see within the next month, within the next year, what's going to happen within the things that we ask for. And that's why he does it on his perfect timing. So another example would be a car, right? You're wanting a car and you see that this person, somebody around you has a nice car, a Lexus or whatever, and you're just like, dang, but that person was probably selling drugs, probably scamming and things of that nature. And then you're just having that mindset like the enemy is coming to you saying do the same thing, and then you could have all of this, all of that, just like he did with Jesus when he was fasting and he came to tempt him. And that's what a lot of us are going through, temptations and things of that nature, to turn and go to the materialistic things so we could abandon or turn away from God and what he wants for our life, and instead go the unrighteous way. It is tempting, and it's a temptation that you're just like, oh, I want this so bad, this, I need this or whatever. But continue to pray, continue to fast, because you really never know when your day is gonna come, But anyways, like I was saying about the scamming and all of that, this person was scamming for credit cards and things of that nature, and then they get approved and all of that, right? They might not deal with the consequences right now, but it's gonna catch up to them, right? So you should not be looking at the other person and what they have, But we could get into that too. Like, we look at social media so much that we're just like, oh, this person has it good, this person didn't have to go through nothing, this, that, and the third. But we really don't know. We really don't know if they did something bad to get that, if they went the unrighteous path to get that. So God is saying, do not look at the other person. Look at yourself. Focus on God. Because if you focus on the kingdom, everything else will be added. Seek the kingdom first, and then everything shall be added. You cannot be looking at people doing whatever they do and be like, oh, I could do that too, and then I'm going to get approved, or I'm going to get that opportunity or that job or whatever, the way that they do it, because the way that they do it could work for them, but you going to deal with the consequences if it comes to you. If you ever decide to do that, because you know better, because you're not walking in delusion anymore. You're walking with the kingdom. It's just that you're desperate. You're desperate to get your own way. But you cannot be desperate in your learning season, in your growing season, in your wisdom season, in your isolation season, because overall, God is showing you things. That's what I'm trying to say, is that God wants something. He wants the best for you. He doesn't just want to give you scraps of this or of that, or crumbles, or, crumbs. He wants to give you the whole package. And this is why he's saying to wait, because good things take time, y'all. Good things take time. Have you ever seen somebody get something so quick, and just as quick as they get it, they lose it? It's because it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't the time. It wasn't, you get what I'm saying? It was just something temporary that they could, pleasure themselves off of, or things of that nature. And we notice that a lot within the kingdom of darkness. A lot of people get whatever they want so quick, but lose it just as quick as they get it, because they weren't in the righteous path, because they weren't listening to God, because they wanted to go by their own understanding. It says in the Bible, lean not on your own understanding. Because like I'm saying about a relationship, you could get into a relationship, everything is good for the first month or whatever, but then you start to get to know this person, and God was telling you, no, don't do this, no, don't do that. But if you really wanted it, then you gonna get it, right? So that's what you did. And then you had to learn, and then you had to start over. And let me tell you about that starting over. I'm in the process of starting over, and it is so, it's not draining. I'm going to tell you, it's beautiful because of God's mercy and God's grace. You could see his mercy and his grace. But it's just starting over. It's dang, then you notice that you were so close when you were in that season. It's just that you had to not be desperate. And that's what a lot of us are going through, desperation. We're looking at other people with the stuff that they have. That seems like, oh, we should have it as well. Don't look at the other person and be like, oh, this person has it all, this, that, and the third, just because it looks good, or, it sounds good. Not everything that glitters is gold, y'all. You have to understand that. And we see it all the time in the kingdom of darkness, in the entertainment industry, in Hollywood. We see it where these celebrities are giving their souls to the enemy. They're selling their souls for money. It says in the Bible, what does a man gain to gain the world and lose his soul? Right? So when you're looking at other people, you're basically losing your soul, because it's you want the world. You want what the world has, the worldly things, the worldly ways. But if you just have that patience, if you just wait, and pray and ask God for patience, and focus on the kingdom first, then on these other things, trust me, within due time, you'll get to it. And yes, some of the things that we want are actually things that we need. But there's a reason why God has you where you are right now. There's a reason why God is saying, look to him. Don't look at man. Because now you're idolizing man. Now you're oh, well, God is not enough. You get what I'm saying? Sorry, y'all. Psalms 37, it says, never envy the wicked. Soon they fade away like grass and disappear. Trust in the Lord instead. Be kind and good to others. Then you will live safely here in the land and prosper, feeding in safety. Be delighted with the Lord. Then he will give you all of your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust him to help you to do it, and he will. Your innocence will be clear to everyone. He will vindicate you with the blazing light of justice shining down as the noonday sun. Rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for him to act. Don't be envious of evil men who prosper. Stop your anger. Turn off your wrath. Don't fret and worry. It only leads to harm, for the wicked shall be destroyed. But those who trust in the Lord shall be given every blessing. Only a little while, and the wicked shall listen to that, y'all. Only a little while, and the wicked shall disappear. You will look for them in vain, but also who humble themselves before the Lord shall be given every blessing and shall have wonderful peace. Okay, let's see. And it goes on to, go on about evil men and wicked people and how, like, they do wrong and are justified in their wrongness and their pleasures to themselves. But little do they know, God is watching them. God is observing them. God is laughing at them, because he's going to have the last laugh at the end of the day. So don't be jealous or look towards the evil men because you feel as though they have more, because you feel as though they're doing better, because you feel as though your ways with God is not working, right? It says it right there. It is better to have little and be godly than to own an evil man's wealth. For the strength of evil men shall be broken, but the Lord takes care of those he has forgiven. Day by day the Lord observes the good deeds done by godly men and gives them eternal rewards. He cares for them when times are hard, even in famine. They will have enough, but evil men shall perish. These enemies of God will wither like grass and disappear like smoke. Evil men borrow and cannot pay it back, but the good man returns what he owes with some extra beside. Those blessed by the Lord shall inherit the earth, but those cursed by him shall die. Yep. So basically, do not look at the evil men. Do not envy the evil men. Don't envy the worldly people. That's basically what God is saying. It's not literal like, oh, they're evil, but he's saying don't envy the worldly people, because they're gonna perish. Not like literal, y'all. It's not like they're gonna die, or it's not literal, but he's saying that they're gonna perish mentally, emotionally, spiritually, as to where they won't have that strength when things occur, when things go about. Because who did they worship? These materialistic things. They were going off pride, vanity, things of that nature, instead of humbling themselves and going to God. So don't envy them. Like I said, just as quick as they get things, they will lose those things just as quick as they get it. Because they won't know. The wicked, the worldly people, they don't know how to maintain these things. They always self-sabotage. You get what I'm saying? So that's basically what God is saying over here, is that they self-sabotage all the time because their wicked and worldly ways are confusing. It's not direct like God's word. It's confusing. So of course they're going to go this way, they're going to go that way, they're going to go this way. And that's what God means by they will perish, is that they going to be lost. They going to be like confused, which is by who? The enemy himself. So don't be thinking like, oh, you don't have enough, or you're not enough, or things of that nature, because you don't have these materialistic things, or you don't have this, or you're not like this. Just wait upon God. Go to God for things. Pray, fast, do all of that. And I know, hey, everyone is saying pray, fast, do all of this, but it's the truth. You need to have your sword. You need to have your shield, because now if you let the enemy come to you, he's going to come to your mind and start, challenging you in that sense, and challenging who you think God is to you. You get what I'm saying? He's going to challenge you every minute he gets, because now you're vulnerable, because you haven't read the word, because you haven't fasted, because you haven't spent time with God, because you haven't prayed. You get what I'm saying? So you have to incorporate all of those things within your walk, because if not, you're going to want to be just like the world. You're going to want to do things the worldly way, the scamming way. And like I'm saying, for the wicked, it might not catch up to them then and there. but eventually it will, and they gonna perish. Not even figuratively, but just saying, like, they gonna perish mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And let me tell y'all, the enemy tricks us into thinking that the materialistics is way more important than the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional. Why do you think back in the days so much celebrities were worshipped? Because we were tricked into thinking that, oh, that world was so good. But now we're starting to see the truth. God is exposing the truth to us about Hollywood, about these materialistic things, about the evil, wicked ways of, this world. And it so happens to be within this generation. We're just the generation that has to stand up against all of this. So don't bow down to the worldly ways. Don't bow down to the wicked man just because he gets this easily or he gets that easily. You get what I'm saying? Just because they do it, it doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because they do it, it doesn't mean you have to follow it. Just because it is successful for them, it doesn't mean it's going to be successful for you. Understand that. Especially if you're really a chosen one, but you're just desperate. So then you decide to look over here and look over there. It's not going to work for you because God already has planned your life from the beginning. So whatever you try to work on your own understanding is not going to work. And like I'm saying, it might work for the few first months, but then reality is going to kick in and you're going to see why God was saying, wait for this, do this that way. No. And sometimes God will even let you do whatever you want to do. He says, it says in Proverbs 16:18, pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So God is going to warn you. He's going to warn you before that thing can ruin you. He's going to warn you. He's going to give you subliminal messages. He's going to give you messages through movies, through shows. He's going to give you a lot of things that is relatable to your life. You get what I'm saying? And he's going to warn you of what's to come if you do that. You get what I'm saying? He's going to give you dreams, things of that nature. But my point here is that he's going to warn you before your fall, before you decide to go about that thing, because he knows it's not right for you. But since you want it so bad, he's going to let you go and see what he means by, no, don't do this. Don't do it that way. He's going to, and the thing about it is he doesn't let you go. It's just your free will. You get what I'm saying? He granted you with free will. So now you're able to see what he's talking to you about. And I'm not saying to go and, do that, but through your free will, you're able to basically do whatever you want. So if your free will is telling you, okay, yeah, let's see if the grass is greener on the other side, he's going to let you go see it. But then you're going to see why. You're going to see all of those red flags. You're going to see why he told you, wait patiently. I have this for you. No. Know this, know that. Know this. Right? But it's up to us to have that understanding and wisdom. It's up to us to wait patiently and follow his guide, because he knows more than us. Yes, we cannot see the behind scenes, but God knows everything. So you should be able to trust him. And if you don't, you got to pray for that. You got to pray for that, because that's an attack. That's like literally an attack. So you got to pray towards that attack. That's why you got to wear that armor, because once again, the enemy is walking everywhere to see who he can devour. And that's true. All right, y'all. So that's basically the word for today. And like I always say, read your Bible, study your word, and spend time with God, because us prophets, we're just here with another word and whatever the case may be. Like I always say, stay real, be real, because once you are the realest, you cannot go back to the lies. So I'ma catch y'all until next time.